All right, so we are live. Huh. All right, so I guess we could talk about our two separate experiences, and then we'll talk about the group thing that we're gonna do with DMark or whatever.
Okay, sounds good.
So what did you do on the walk? I was kind of upset that I didn't get to do it.
Well,
The
we
weather.
actually didn't get to go on the full walk because it was so cold, but we met at the St. Franciscan, like, there's a pantry there for clothing and food, and then they also have like a thrift shop there. So we met there and we had a bunch of different guest speakers come in from some of like the different areas that offer things for people that are underserved. And then they gave us like their flyers and how we can help volunteer if we want them to be our community partner, we can. And then we drove down to Freedom for the Youth, and theirs is kind of like it's like a mini college campus kind of. They have lots of different buildings that are set up, and they have a different like subject in each building. So one of them was like a shop that they fixed bikes in, another was like a woodworking place and a welding place, and then there's like an art room that kids can go to after school. And whenever they have kids, they also provide like a supper meal for them. So I thought that was kind of neat.
That's cool.
But otherwise, we didn't really learn much too in depth of all the other resources just because it was so cold, so we didn't get to walk around to all of them like it was supposed to be scheduled. But there are a lot of them that I didn't like even know about, to be honest. Like, I knew there's lots of underserved people, but I didn't really know that there were so many different opportunities just like really close in this area for people.
I didn't know there was stuff like that downtown either. I thought that was kind of more spread out. Well, that's cool. I wish stupid weather hadn't have done that, so I could have gone on that.
Yeah.
Well, I just had to do the windshield one because of the weather, and it was kind of the class got canceled like the day before, so I didn't really have a chance to do anything else. So I kind of just drove around Newton. I mean, I lived there for since 2012, so I knew quite a bit of already what I wanted to put in my project here. But I kind of drove around and looked at some of the older buildings and such, and some of the more rundown buildings. And I talked with some of the people, like at some of the behavioral health centers and the churches and such. Um, there's really there's not a whole lot, I would say, of severely underserved people in Newton. Um, the community mostly is just a lot of elderly people and like really young people. There's like not very many in between. It's kind of weird. So like we have like two community centers besides the YMCA, and both of them are for like elderly. Like one's based out of the where the ride share comes out of for the public transport, and that's an elderly community center. And then we have another one that's kind of like a Masonic lodge type thing, and they do like bingo and stuff like that, and that was really cool. But there really isn't a lot for like kids and stuff to do in Newton, which is kind of unfortunate. They pretty much just like I have a teenager, so they just drive in circles around town. There's
Mm-hmm.
really nothing to do, so it's kind of depressing. But I did find out that there's like 19 churches in Newton, and Newton is like 3 miles long. Like if you blink, you miss it going down the freeway. So I was like, I feel like there's a lot of churches here compared to like how many there really should be in a small town, I guess.
Right.
So I guess really speaks to I guess their belief platforms as far as they're very big into religion and like the home environment and things like that. So, do you
Yeah.
actually live in Des Moines?
Yeah, I live in downtown Des Moines.
Oh, okay.
But that's what I
That's cool.
liked, kind of like talking about the religion stuff. The River Bend, there's like a lot of them are like religion based, but they like aren't a certain religion. They're like welcoming to all the religions, but they'll like tie it into like the different activities or something they're doing. It's like Freedom for the Youth was an example of that too, where they're like Christian based, but they allow any students and kids to come in, and they'll help them, and they'll try and work the best they can to, if they want to like learn more about their faith, they'll find somebody to help them about it too.
But they don't like push it on you, right?
Right.
I like that. You don't find that very often in a lot of churches. They're always trying to push stuff on you sometimes.
Yeah. No, I went to a Catholic school my entire life, so I know how that is.
Yeah. My parents are Southern Baptists, so they're a little crazy too. There's like this cowboy church in Newton. I'd never heard of it. It's literally called the Cowboy Church, and I thought that was really funny. Like,
Oh my
cowboy.
goodness.
Like, I want to go there just to see what's in there.
Yeah, just to experience it.
Like, what is a cowboy church? Are we gonna line dance? Because I want to line dance. That'd be kind of fun. So yeah, we have like a lot of parks in Newton and stuff. But I mean, in the winter we have the skating rink, but there's just nothing
Yeah.
to do in the small. Just hang out, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a lot of mental health stuff in Newton, so I guess there's probably a pretty good need for it there. We have like 3 separate mental health, like Capstone and House of Worship places.
Okay.
So I think there's actually quite a bit of need for that in town, but then we have the hospital too. So
Right. Yeah, it is nice to have like a place for like people that need somewhere to talk or whatever. I feel like that's one of the biggest things ever is just like having somebody there that you can even talk to, not necessarily like knowing there's going to be food or something, but like a lot of the underserved people don't even have very many like anybody to talk to, which was really nice with that mental health facilities.
right, and then like mental health really does contribute a lot to people being underserved in the first place.
Yes.
Because they can't deal with what's going on in their head, or they don't know how to deal with everything out there in the world. And I think just talking and having someone to listen to that's not going to judge you is very important.
Yes, I agree.
So we were. So I guess we kind of settled on doing this DMARC thing, the food pantry.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we're gonna have to come up somehow arrange our schedules so that we can do that. And then,
Okay.
I've never actually worked at a food pantry before. That might be kind of fun.
I haven't either. We always did like food raising type things in high school and everything, and like I just like deliver them to the food pantry, but that's about the most I've ever done with it.
I've gotten food from a food pantry once back in the day, in my misspent youth, and
Yeah.
they were really nice. They give you like a cart with a bunch of boxes of like the essentials and stuff, and then all the canned goods and things like that. And they're like super nice, and they always are like, trying to help you with other things you might need besides just food. So
Yeah. Like DMark is one of the people that came and like talked to us in our My River Bend experience also. And she's talking about how they're really trying to stress like more of like the healthier food options. So they're starting to get more like actual fruits and vegetables that are fresh out instead of like canned, because they've been finding recently that even if you only get very few fruits and vegetables like fresh, it seems to like keep you fuller, and then obviously you're healthier too than like the canned foods, because they have found that they're going through way more like canned foods and everything because it doesn't like fill you up as much.
Yeah.
So they're really stressing to try and change that to the more healthier food options, which I thought stood out compared to some of the other ones where they're just like the canned foods and the boxes, which they're good too, and they're still doing that also. But
yeah, I definitely agree. Like if you were like, I made spaghetti squash. It's actually become almost a weekly thing now, and it fills you up so much faster than like regular pasta does. And it's
yes.
just squash and
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess did they say they had any problems with like stuff going bad being fresher?
No, because she says like the need is so there's so much need, and like they get I think she said they get like new shipments in like twice a week because they like go through it so fast. So she said this what the way it sounded was that they are pretty good at like knowing how much they need to order because of like them being around for so long and like knowing the community so well and how many different people need help and assistance.
Oh yeah, you said 1952, right?
Yes.
That's well, that's cool. I mean, 34,000 people, like that is a lot of people just in like the city of Des Moines and the surrounding areas to serve. Like that's a
Right.
huge need.
And I like how like they
Kind of
only started with like 13 local churches, but now it's like grown to over like 125 different congregations and like a bunch of different like faith traditions and everything, which is kind of neat to see how that's spread out.
right. 'Cause then it shows, more tolerance and everything, and people that see their own, religion and things like that, they're more likely to feel more comfortable coming back.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
And then like some of the other things they started a few years ago, mobile food trucks. So she didn't really explain it too much because I think it's a pretty new aspect. But the way it sounded is like they'll come down to like downtown Des Moines where they don't have like an actual building for a food pantry, and they'll bring the mobile food truck down from like 7 in the morning to 7 at night, and people are like able to come pick up things there also if they aren't able to like have a car or something and be able to like drive to the pantry. The mobile food pantry makes it a little more easier for those.
Do they do any like meal preparations or any of those, or is it just for
No,
past?
yep, just passing the food.
Oh, okay, so we don't have to cook.
Nope.
It's probably a good thing. I put way too much pepper on everything I cook. All right.
Also, when I was looking through some of the brochure she gave me, it just touched on how they also can assist with like childcare if like for some reason like if you need it for short periods of time for like an appointment or if you're trying to get a job and you have a job interview or something, they can try and set up something to help you with that also.
They kind of do a lot more than just like the food pantry aspect that you would generally think of when you think of like, like the food bank or Salvation Army or whatever. But they do like the whole
Yeah,
system to help you.
yeah, because they try to intertwine like the faith engagement and they want their not like extremely like Bible people and stuff, but like really show that it's like a faith community and like a faith organization. Like everybody's welcome and they're compassionate in their actions and everything, which I thought was really neat too. Like some of them are just kind of some of the food pantries I know are just kind of like you walk in, you get tossed your stuff, and then they want you to leave because there's so many other people that need stuff. So I feel like just even taking that extra minute to like say hello, how are you doing, and have a short conversation with them really like helps again like the mental health of the underserved people, just knowing that the people are actually caring about them.
Yeah, I think people definitely like, they get into the service, for industries like this and they have all these good intentions and then they get overwhelmed with the need that they just forget to just say hi sometimes. And
Right.
forget a simple conversation like that can really make someone's day.
Yes.
So makes them feel more part of the community and not left out. So did you look through all the like papers and stuff we're supposed to bring on this excursion? 'Cause there's like
Yeah,
50 of them in like.
I know there's so many of them.
You think like there's the hours log and there's the summary hours log and then there's the I don't even know. It was confusing.
Yeah,
Trying to
I
fill
think
that.
well there's one that's like our partner our community partner like uh what's it called? Like proposal sheet.
Right.
And then like the community hour sheet. And I think that's the one that we have to take when we like go volunteer at DMARC, because like they'll have to sign it so it counts against our like hours that we need and
Right.
stuff. But yeah, I was trying to fill out some of them and I got my name and like my address out and that was about it because I didn't know how to do the rest of it.
So this proposal that we're supposed to submit next week, are we supposed? Are we doing that together, or are we doing that separately?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was hoping he would say in like the description for next week's if we're supposed to submit one as a group or if we're each individually supposed to submit it. To me, I feel like it should be as a group, but I bet he's gonna have us submit it individually. It'll just be like one, like the same sheet for each group.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's too bad that our group ended up so small.
I know, and some of the other groups have like 4 or 5 people in it. But I got to thinking, I'm like, it's probably easier this way because it's just you and me trying to find time to get together rather than 5 people trying to work their schedules.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that in another class, and it's not kosher. It sucks. All right. Well, I think we got about 20 minutes or so going on this. So, are you cool with it?
Yeah, I think, yeah, like I said, I think with only 2 of us, it's kind of hard getting like the full 30 minutes like he wants because we don't have an entire group that has to take turns talking.
Agreed.
So.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can get this submitted properly, and fingers crossed we'll get our schedule set up, and we'll do this DMARC adventure.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. See you later.
See ya.